before the Backrooms, before liminal space memes, and before analog horror. We were already inside of them, and we didn't even know it. We just called it a video game. I'm Hal Hefner, your personal professor of nerd horror. This is Nerd Horror University, and we're going to open up a portal to the past and find out why the Atari 2600 was the first digital platform to give us liminal spaces. It was called the Atari 2600. It was the first mainstream video game console system. It was the first one that became a household staple everywhere in the United States and beyond around the year 1980.
The fun is back, oh yes sirree. It's the 2600 from Atari. It's the video system with classics galore, from Space Invaders to cars that roar. A real hip joystick controls the screen. Solaris is hot and Midnight Magic's mean. And one more thing, it's got a special low price, under $50. $50? Now isn't that nice? The fun is back, oh yes sirree. It's the 2600 from Atari.
Early Atari games weren't trying to feel real, because they couldn't. Atari games were defined by low resolution, blocky pixel art, and limited color palettes with sound that looped forever and ever and never explained why. The hardware almost had nothing to work with. But somehow, kids and adults alike turned that nothingness into a place. A place you could exist inside and have fun. But not everything with Atari was fun and games. Because those spaces inside the games were incomplete by necessity. I'm sure the technology wished it could fill them in, but it couldn't. So you had to. You invented the details that weren't there, and you built the world around the skeleton the game gave you. And it felt real enough. Because as games got better, the graphics improved, the worlds got fuller, more robust. And that feeling started to disappear. Nintendo Entertainment System, Sega, Super Nintendo, and the list goes on and on. The spaces were filled in. The environments were rich. The music was rich. Everything was rich. Your mind had less work to do because everything was more advanced and alive. And ultimately, more fun. But those early Atari spaces were anything but fun. E.T.'s pit, the flickering rooms of the haunted house, the single scrolling screen of adventure. Those spaces, they taunted you. They annoyed you. And they stayed with you. Because they were never quite finished. And sometimes you couldn't even tell what things were unless they showed it in the art on the packaging that the video game cartridge came in. Unfinished environments don't sit quietly. They demand something from you. Context, meaning, an explanation for why they feel the way they feel. And when you can't find one, the illusion starts to crack. Because as you stare at the television screen, the screen stares back at you. That's what those old Atari games left behind. Not fear exactly, but something quieter. And sometimes unsettling. Something that sat in your skull and didn't have a name. And now look at this. Empty hallways, endless corridors, spaces that feel real but incomplete. You see where we're going with this, right? Liminal spaces. They're the same structure as those Atari rooms. Recognizable enough to pull you in, but just weird and wrong enough to keep you searching. Today, we're doing exactly what 8-year-olds did in front of a TV screen in the 1980s. Trying to finish something that was never meant to be finished. And in reality, those games never really scared anyone. But they stayed with everybody. 40 years later, we've got better graphics, faster machines, and we realized that in the 1980s, from less, we wanted more. But now we're realizing, when it comes to terror and horror and being scared, that less is actually more. Even though we now have fuller worlds everywhere, there's a reason analog horror is huge, and liminal spaces are dominating everywhere on the internet and have become part of the new mythology, lore, legends, and make-believe of our world. And it's got the same darkness at the edge of the screen, just like Atari. Because society never actually left those rooms. It just never realized it was still inside them.
Horror.
Please like and subscribe for more nerd horror. And we also have another channel called Nerd Horror Stories, a twice-weekly anthology horror series that tells tales of the supernatural, psychological, and unexplainable. So please check out Nerd Horror Stories.